All right, so another page of key terms. Myofibers. Those are the individual muscle cells. Myofibers. It's just each individual muscle cells. Remember, the muscle cells are bundled together in a fossicle, and you put a bunch of fossicles together, and you get your entire muscle. So you'll need. It's not really that important. Sarcolemma. So you're kind of important. That's just the cell membrane that surrounds the muscle. Remember, this is different than the connective tissue that surrounds it, like the epimysium that surrounds the entire muscle, the paramysium that surrounds each fossicle, and then the endomysium that surrounds each muscle cell. This is a cell membrane. This is not connective tissue. This is made of what's called phospholipids. So that's the cell membrane around each individual muscle cell. The sarcoplasm, you're not going to need to know that, so let's forget that. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, you're going to need to know that. This is it's a kind of a modified endoplasmic reticulum found in muscle cells. What you need to know, it stores calcium, and calcium ions is what causes muscles to contract. So when it releases calcium ions, that's what's going to cause the muscle contraction. Transverse tubules. This is like part of the sarcoplasmic reticulum that transverse, so it goes like crossways through the muscle. It doesn't go the same direction that the muscle fibers are going, and this is what allows the action potentials. So when a neuron stimulates a muscle, that stimulation goes through the transverse tubule, so it can get deep into the muscle, so it can contract the entire muscle. Myoglobin, we're going to go and cross that out. You're not going to need to know that. And then the myofibrils, which you're going to see here in a second. You have both. You have thin filaments. You have thick filaments. So this is what gives striated muscles it's like striped appearance. So the thin filaments are called actin, and the thick filaments are called myosin. We're going to go over that here in just a second. All right, so here's a diagram of a muscle right here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in these labels. All right, obviously this thing right here, that's the bone. I don't know if I really need to put that, but we'll do it. All right, that's the bone. And muscles connect the bones. Do you remember what type of connective tissue connects muscle to bone? If you said ligament, you would be wrong. It is a tendon. Tendons connect muscles to bone. All right, now right here, this is the covering that surrounds the entire muscle. You can see this connective tissue. That's called the epimysium. 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 Epic. If you're epic, you're on top. Epi, like the epiglottis, is on top of the glottis. Epi is the top layer of connective tissue that surrounds the entire muscle. Now here you're seeing this right here. Let me go ahead and highlight it. This right here is a fossicle. It's a bundle of individual muscle fibers or muscle cells. You can see the individual muscle cells in here. So is there like, I don't know, maybe 15 of them in there? So this is the fossicle. But remember, it's got a layer of connective tissue that surrounds it too. And it's not the endo, because endo is the most deep. It's the paramysium. Paramysium. Boom. There's the paramysium. This right here, these are just blood vessels. I'm not going to, so you got the red artery, the blue vein. This right here is your individual muscle fiber or muscle cell. So let's put muscle fiber slash cell. The bundle, this entire thing right here that's holding like, I don't know, 10 to 15 muscle cells. Remember, that's the fossicle. Boom. And then the covering around each individual, the connective tissue that surrounds each individual muscle cell or fiber, that's the endomysium. Now, are you going to remember epimysium, paramysium, and endomysium from just hearing them once? Of course not. That'd be ridiculous. But if you practice them enough, you'll remember which one is the most superficial, epimysium, paramysium in the middle, and then the deepest surrounding each individual muscle cell, that's the endomysium.